We're going to do a news roundup of stories. There's a lot of news going on right now. Not all of it you care about. Not all of it you actually pay attention to. But these are the news stories that nobody else is giving you. First, we are going to start out north of the border in Montreal, where a man received a ticket after singing while driving. Now, Nick, in Montreal, there's a man who was driving his car singing passionately to the 90s hip-hop anthem, Everybody Dance Now. And he was then pulled over by the police, who accused him of screaming. But apparently, in Canada, you can violate the peace and tranquility, which that might be the most Canadian thing ever.
Do you think he got the ticket for being too loud, or his singing was that bad? Yeah, you got to be pretty loud to be heard through traffic and through the car. That's pretty impressive.
It's not even that great of a song. Like, it only has one line. It's Everybody Dance Now. There's no other lyrics.
Everybody dance now! Maybe he's got a future in like a screamo band or something.
I don't understand. There's way better songs. Oh, that's violating the peace and tranquility in Canada. That's a fine punishable up to $2,000 for just you having an awful voice. So if you had to pick, when Nick's in the car, what are the top 2 songs you think you're just jamming out to? You crank it up and just sing all loud and off key.
Honestly, any classic rock song, definitely, especially like Welcome to the Jungle.
Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games.
That's what we had for like sports intro music, and then like some of Demi Lovato's new songs. Any like female pop artist is always a go-to.
Definitely pop, classic rock. They're just, you crank it up. Top 2 for me, most things by Maroon 5, but in particular Sugar. Where the high pitch part, I kill that. And then Bon Jovi's. Basically anything by Bon Jovi, but in particular, You Give Love a Bad Name. There's just something about screaming at the top of your lungs. If I lived in Canada, I would be flat broke, because I would be getting these damn $2,000 fines all day. So there's a 7th grader in Georgia. He wore a shirt that says Fake News Network, FNN, on it. And he wore that on a field trip to CNN headquarters. His teachers were like, okay, you probably have to take that off because it's obviously controversial. His parents are freaking out because they violated their kid's First Amendment rights, and he picked the shirt out. I love this. I want to get one of these t-shirts. That is the best thing I've ever heard. Yeah,
that's awesome. It's awesome that he got the shirt. It's awesome that he wore it to school. I think they should have let him see how far he could have gotten, and maybe gotten in the background of a shot with it. So that would have been great.
I mean, just walking past like Wolf Blitzer in the hallway, and just Fake News Network. It's fantastic, and first of all, it said that the teacher made him take his shirt off. I don't understand that. Did he have a shirt under that, or did he just walk around topless? These are the things.
Yeah, they just had him walking around CNN topless.
They just had, like, what is this 12-year-old boy just doing walking without a shirt on? Like, how does that work?
I wonder how many CNN employees own the exact same shirt.
Yeah, well, the thing is that shirt's not wrong. They really are a fake news network. They like, it's so blatantly just biased. Like, it's incredible. So just props to that kid for having the cojones to wear that shirt. I would get one that would say maybe BSNBC instead of MSNBC. I feel like that would go over well. The Clinton News Network, that would have been another one, or Communist News Network.
That would have been pretty funny. Carry along the CNN.
That would be me if I was in 7th grade.
Slept through class and sat there in gym shorts and a t-shirt all day, every day.
So a man in Germany, Frankfurt, Germany to be particular, he parked his car, and then he just forgot where he parked it for 20 years. He forgot where he parked his car, and he reported it stolen at the time. And then now, 20 years later, so it was in 1997, they just now found it because they were going to demolish the garage he parked it in. He thought it was stolen. This is fantastic. Parking garages, the way they're designed now, I park my car at the garage at my school. I lose it every day.
Yeah. Well, have you ever seen some of the high-tech garages where they actually have like signs on the ceiling?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are awesome. How do you lose a car? Like, you just go to the garage, walk around a little bit, and like, oh, all right, it's not here. I'll report it stolen. Like, how long did he search for it? Did he just give it 5 or 10 minutes, walk around once or twice, or did he like search for hours and just give up?
I bet he's looked for 5 minutes, and he's like, oh well, it's probably stolen. I love how that's his first reaction is to assume so. And have you seen this car? It's a piece of crap now, and it was a piece of crap in 1997. Nobody's taking that.
Okay, but when the cops were like, "Hey, we've recovered your car," did he admit like, "Oh yeah, no, I parked it there"?
I bet he should have done this as part of like some kind of elaborate like insurance fraud. Like
yeah, he should have been like, "No, yeah, they must have like tried to steal it and left it there. That wasn't me."
He's pissed because he probably used the insurance money to buy like a nicer car, and then they're like, "Oh, sir, we found your old beater." It's like, damn. There's a great episode of Seinfeld about this where they're lost in a parking garage.
I wonder if he had to pay like the maximum parking fee for that.
Oh yeah, there's just his windshield coated in like overdue parking.
Violation.